Don't say we can't, just don't say another word. These thoughts you've imagined aren't real, aren't adding up. You fetched your ideas from nowhere, all from another world. Your logic's impaired, your full picture is cropped. Cause we both know one day they're just gonna try again. Without doubt, might say if all's gonna mend. We both know that one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't pout for our sake, cause this ain't the end.
Hello everybody and welcome to Richmond Raceway. It is the action track, and we're certainly in store for quite a lot of action today. As you can see, rain is coming down actively, but NASMAR officials have decided it's not enough to postpone the show. For the first time in NASMAR history, we are going to go racing on a wet, short oval. Richmond is going to play host to some major history today as we've got a look at the drivers we expect to see up front for this historic day. First and foremost, Martin Truex Jr., who is always good at Richmond, is sitting on the pole and is looking to break a streak of being pretty terrible in the wet conditions. Chase Elliott was the fastest in practice by a long shot, has always been good at handling unknown variables, and he was the runner-up in the NASMAR Spring Date here at Richmond. Then is Christopher Bell, who's great on the dirt. That might translate some to these slick conditions. He says he has a loose but very fast car, and he's the defending winner of the summer Richmond race. Of course, we have to keep our eye on the regular season points battle between Tyler Reddick and Denny Hamlin. Reddick, of course, doing this without any wins. And then we have three drivers below the cut line who still have a chance to claw their way back in points. Michael McDowell, Kyle Busch, and Brad Keselowski all looking for strong days today. It is a beautiful and wet day here at Richmond as we look at your total point standings of the season. Looking at the playoff standings currently, Chastain is the most wins, but Larson the most playoff points. John Hummer checks the last one in on a win. Tyler Reddick and Ryan Blaney are so far up in points, they're almost guaranteed to be good unless there's a new winner. And then we have the back of the pack hoping to scrape by and improve their seasons here today, finishing as high up in the point standings as they can or hoping for a lucky win. Now we hand it over to East Coast Racing Network to say the most famous words in motorsports.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Richmond Raceway. Welcome to the action track. Are you ready for some NASMAR Community Cup Series racing at the Richmond Raceway? Drivers, start your engines!
What a command from East Coast Racing Network as we see the field of V8 engines roar to life and the crowd does the same. Even in wet conditions, Richmond Raceway is sold out for the second summer date in a row, the seats packed, ready to see some great short track action. And while we won't see multiple tire compounds, we will see something we've never seen in NASMAR before. Everyone is ready, and that means it's time for the cars to roll onto the racetrack under wet conditions on an oval for the very first time. Now we will see all 36 of the gladiators who have come today to conquer Richmond Raceway. It's Martin Truex Jr. on the pole with Chase Elliott sitting to his inside. Christopher Bell and Ryan Blaney round out row number 2. Ty Gibbs and Denny Hamlin, Joe Gibbs' teammates in row 3, with row 4, Josh Berry and William Byron. Row number 5 is going to be Joey Logano and Kyle Larson, with row number 6 consisting of Michael McDowell and Alex Bowman. Row number 7, Tyler Reddick and Brad Keselowski, while row number 8 is going to be Chris Buescher and Bubba Wallace. Row number 9, it's Chase Briscoe and the 77 of Carson Hocevar. Row 10 is Noah Gregson and Eric Jones. Row number 11, the two Trackhouse teammates, Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez. Row number 12 is Kyle Busch and Todd Gilliland. Row 13, Austin Cindric and Corey LaJoy, while row 14 is Austin Dillon and Ryan Preece. Getting towards the end of our field here, it's Ricky Stenhouse and Daniel Hemrick in row 15, with row 16 being Harrison Burton and the part-timer of Riley Herbst. The other part-timer of Ty Dillon and Justin Haley start in row 17, and rounding out the field in row 18 is John Hunter Nemechek and Zane Smith. Now we must go check with ESMN for the weather report for the next little bit of this race. We'll be checking in with him multiple times throughout the race to see what's coming ahead. What's on the radar, ESMN?
Thank you, NLS. While the storm certainly shows no signs of stopping, it appears that this light mist-like rain will not thicken anytime soon, giving us enough time to get some great racing in tonight.
Thank you once again to ESMN, who will be coming in as our weatherman today. As now we take a look at our race facts. It's going to be 20 laps around Richmond, same as last year. 36 drivers braving out the weather. The storm is actively sprinkling, so we expect no dry line to form today. Officials are looking out for any spray off of these cars, which could end the race due to a lack of visibility. But it's now time, for the first time in NASMAR history, we're going racing in the rain on an oval. The green flag is out at Richmond. It's Christopher Bell loose off the start, but now trying to force something 3 wide inside for the lead as the field fans out, and it's Chris Buescher around in the back, somehow saves it, and we're still 3 wide for the lead, and now Christopher Bell into the grass. He's gonna spin out and we're gonna stay green. He's gonna get it fired off from the mud. You see his car firing there as we're 4 wide for the lead. Josh Berry under everybody, but gets sideways and loses ground. What a crazy land rush as we run through the field. And we're now hearing reports that Austin Dillon is having issues and coming to pit road this lap. We're going to send it down to Rodco.
Austin Dillon, he has a broken toe link from that wall contact. I don't think he'll be able to get back into the race. As they try to repair it, it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. Oh, we've got a crash on the track.
That's a massive hit into the turn 2 wall. Denny Hamlin popped up into the air. The 5, the 48 around. This looks to be a day ender for most, if not all of them. The caution is out for the first time today. Ty Gibbs holds on to the lead as we need to go back and decipher exactly how that happened. Poor Rodco on the call as his favorite driver goes up into the outside wall hard. Larson just loses it in the middle of turn 1 and 2 and just hit by Alex Bowman. Up the track they all go. It's so difficult to slow your car down here in the rain. Alex Bowman, you see, just had no way to stop before hitting his teammate. And Larson bouncing like a pinball back up the track, hard into Hamlin, who gets pinched into the outside wall. These cars have a tendency to dig down under one another, especially when hit on their fenders. They pop up into the air almost like an F1 car sometimes. Massive incident, and it's definitely going to be a day ender for the 11 and the 5. Both of those cars getting cleaned up now, as we also have to see Austin Dillon's hit to the inside wall. We are hearing reports that he may have a broken toe link. This is what happened a lap ago. This is going to be a very interesting situation as Austin Dillon may be the first one out and a huge crash unfolds behind him. Cleanup happening now as Alex Bowman's going to try to fix this thing. Going on to pit road now as we see everybody else in the garage. We are going to send it back down to Rodco to see exactly what's going on with this 48 machine. That thing has some serious damage. I would be very surprised if it could get back on track.
Alex Bowman, after having contact in that wreck, he had some concerns about something being wrong under the hood. His team took a look, and they're finishing up right now. Expect the 48 back on track, 2 laps down.
Good news for Alex Bowman as we head to the choose cone. He's definitely going to be behind, but he's not out of it like I was predicting as Ty Gibbs chooses the outside. There's Alex Bowman rolling back onto the track 2 laps down, hoping for some calamity as we are about to go back racing on the final lap of stage number 1. The fans are ready, and so are we. Green flag in the air. Ty Gibbs with the jump on Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott now trying to find a hole in the top, but can't do it. He's going to fight down low, and Ty Gibbs gets loose on the high lane. It's going to be the 9 car pushing ahead of the 54. Into the lead, into turn 3. No mistakes for the 9 of Chase Elliott. He's going to win the stage, and Logano's around hard into the wall in turn 4. And we have another incident at the back of the field. Almost at the same time, the caution actually came out for the first incident I talked about, not Logano, but it's Chase Elliott who's going to win the stage. As you see, the 31 and the 21, Harrison Burton and Daniel Hemrick, out of this race, as well as Joey Logano, all hard hits all around the racetrack. These drivers came prepared for a dry track, and they did not get one. And that's just Tyler Reddick putting the bumper to the back of the 22. I'm not sure if there was anything in this race prior to that move, or maybe Tyler Reddick didn't take into account how slippery the conditions were. But that is simply a misjudgment on Tyler Reddick, getting his nose in there too deep as Logano was turning in. Maybe a late block from Logano. But either way, that's the 22's day done into the outside wall. As we also need to go check on the incident between Daniel Hemrick and the 21 car. We're hearing the 42 may have been involved as well. Let's take a look at that. 3 wide into turn 1 off the restart, and the 42 just can't hold his line down low. The 21 hard into the nose of the 31. Big incident here. The gain machines on the bottom both collected. Allmendinger with some damage, Stenhouse with some damage. They're pulling it down to pit road, but look like they'll be able to continue. But it's definitely lights out for the 21 of Harrison Burton and the 31 of Daniel Hemrick. As now we are looking at the cleanup crew as we also see the stage 1 results. Chase Elliott, Ty Gibbs, Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick, Martin Truex Jr., your top 5 in the stage. The rest of your top 10 on screen.
Ricky Stenhouse's team working on fixing that body panel damage to try to get him back on track. Ty Dillon is concerned about his steering wheel. He thinks it's off by about 4 degrees, but nothing that is badly damaged. He should be fine and be able to get back in the race.
Thank you, Rodko, for the good information on this 47 and the 16 down on pit road. As we see the next choose cone, it's Ty Gibbs. On the outside, Elliott choosing the inside on the front row. Lots of cars already in the garage, and with conditions like this, I wouldn't be surprised if there were more soon. The crowd's ready to see some racing action as we go green from stage 2. What a jump from Chase Elliott. Massive lead on the rest of the field. It's going to be Ty Gibbs in second, slipping up a little bit on that middle to high line as we get a flyby of the field. Lots of different lines here used in the wet at Richmond, as now Elliott pulling out to a big lead, but there's a little bit of slide from the leader. It's never safe at any point on this racetrack, regardless of where you are running, as Chase Elliott has just shown as we go double box here, looking at the leader in a battle. Around for 6, and that's a lightning strike. That flash of light you saw right there, we are getting reports. It is a lightning strike in the area. ESMN?
Although the rain hasn't exactly increased here at the track, a heavier cell nearby has been starting to produce more intense storm conditions, leading to that lightning strike just east of the track that is putting us in this situation currently.
Unfortunately, there is nothing we can do about dealing with a lightning strike. We are going to red flag the race, but luckily it seems as though the storm may move through somewhat quickly. We are going to be keeping our eye on it for sure. It's been an incredible race up to this point, and we are not yet through stage 2, and we are also not halfway, so this race cannot be official, but we will have to stick around to the red flag period as the lightning clock counts down. We will be back in the studio after commercial break.
Hello everybody, and welcome back from commercial break. I am Speed Cup Stop Motion, joined by today MLCS Racing Network and the NASMAR Hotel here. We're taking a break from the racing action under this red flag condition. MLCS, it's been a wild race so far, man. How do you think this one's going to keep going?
I really don't know. It's going to be a really fun one to watch, but this rain has been so chaotic all race long. And let's take a look at the race recap to see where it all started. Lap number 1, big slide from Chris Buescher off of turn number 2.
And a fun fact about Chris Buescher, this is the second year in a row he's had problems on lap number 1. Then we had Christopher Bell going for a slide, tagging that inside wall. He got back going though, luckily got out of that muddy grass.
And a driver who is a little less fortunate here today is Austin Dillon. Similar slide to Chris Buescher, but this time he hit the inside wall, and that's going to cause him a broken toe link and get him out in today's race.
Unfortunate day for Austin Dillon. Then we had a huge crash coming off turn number 2. Kyle Larson took a huge hit into Alex Bowman, and Denny Hamlin, who got up on that outside wall, I should say. Huge hit for both of them.
Yeah, just a massive hit. Larson looks like he got loose because of the rain, and Hamlin up and over him. Very unfortunate for Alex Boom as well. We'll take a look at it one more time. Full speed. Take a look at it. Larson just got loose because of this rain. This rain is so treacherous here, and very unfortunate for Hamlin and Bowman.
Taking a look at Bowman, Alex Bowman on pit road. Hood is up. He will be able to continue, though. 2 laps down, unfortunately, and will have some severe front end damage, but at least he'll be out there trying to make laps.
And another really interesting thing so far in this race is at the end of stage number 1, which Chase Elliott took home a lot of incidents. Out of turns number 4, Joey Logano for 4th place off the bumper of Tyler Reddick. These rainy conditions, that's a big hit in the outside wall for Joey Logano.
Yes, but another one that a lot of viewers more than likely missed is that crash going into turns number 1 at the end of stage number 1. That's the 42 of John Hunter Nemechek and the 21 of Harrison Burton. Wow, what a hit for him. Daniel Hemrick is involved as well. The 42 looks like he just got loose going on the inside of the 21 and 31, trying to make up too many spots too early in these rainy conditions. Slipped up, took out the 21 and the 31 as well. Unfortunate day, know where those guys could go. But overall, what a crazy early stage number 1 incident we have at here at Richmond.
Yeah, and right after that stage, these multiple stage 1 incidents, a little bit into the weight of stage number 2, a lightning strike was in the area, ringing out the mandatory lightning clock, and we are under a red flag. And of course, that brings us to now. Chase Elliott leading the race after winning stage 1 and leading at the end of the red flag break. Speed, he's looking really strong. What do you think he can do for the rest of this race?
I think Chase Elliott's got a great car, but I would not want to look over Josh Berry, short track ace, if we have seen this season. He has made some crazy maneuvers back there, making it 4 wide into turns number 1 and 2. Then, of course, I take a look at Alex Bowman and Christopher Bell, caught up in incidents early. This rain has really caused some crazy guys. Bell, of course, kind of spun on his own coming off turn 4, but then Bowman was involved with that big crash. He's another innocent bystander in this race. So honestly, man, I don't know. This race is honestly wide open. If I had to pick anybody to be up there at the end, I would have to pick Josh Berry. Who do you think's got winning speed who's going to win the end of this race?
I don't know, man, but you cannot sleep on Martin Truex Jr. He was up there all race long and then slipped back in that big 4-wide move by Josh Berry. He's sneakily there in second. I'd watch for him to kind of move up and maybe take a chance. They could take a shot at Chase Elliott for the win.
Potentially, but I also look at that 54 of Ty Gibbs. He's kind of an underrated driver, as we've seen. Probably the fourth best, I should say. Sorry about that. 4th best JGR driver in the camp currently, but Ty Gibbs is sneakily good. I don't think we've honestly seen all what this 54 has today. He took the lead from the leaders, Chase Elliott, who won stage number 1. Watch that 54 today.
I fully agree. Ty Gibbs, he was up there early, and I think he will be up there late. It's been an absolutely chaotic race so far with all of this rain. What do you think is entail for the rest of it?
I don't know, man. Honestly, if this rain continues to pour, we're going to even see more crazy racing. I could almost bet we're going to see some more crashes, more spins, more chaos here at Richmond Raceway. We haven't seen that many rain races this year in the NASMAR Community Cup Series. I kind of call it back to Chicago as our first real taste of rain racing. And of course, that was on a road course and the experimental Chicago street course. So now we're kind of to an oval. We're kind of to a track that really can be not so heavily affected by rain. We can still run rain tires, but also just create that chaos. I would look to see some more 4-wide racing today. Who do you honestly, what do you think else is going to happen? Do you think we'll see some more crazy racing, or is everybody just going to ride this one out?
I don't know. There's been 2 rain races so far this year, starting at COTA and then the Chicago Street Race. 2 road courses, mind you. That is not a small short track like Richmond is. It's going to be really interesting here today, but how fast do you think this rain is going to move through? I guess we'll have to see. So let's go get a word from our local meteorologist, ESMN, to see what the forecast is currently looking like.
Well, I've got some fantastic news for everyone watching, especially those of the track. The more lightning-prone section of the storm has moved through, as you can see behind me. The lightning clock is almost expired, meaning racing should be able to resume very shortly.
Thank you, ESMN. You heard it here first. It is almost time to get racing once again here at the Richmond Raceway. Drivers are minutes away from climbing in their cars and getting going for the end of this chaotic race.
This is going to be one great race coming back to the green flag here soon. I would like to mention that Lightning Pro section of the storm has moved past our position, so now no more lightning. That is going to completely shift the mindset of these drivers. Probably going to get a lot more aggressive, but we could see the aggression maybe taper back a little bit depending on the type of more rain we're honestly going to see and who's up front trying to get a win to lock themselves in to the 2024 NASMAR Community Cup Series playoffs. Well, folks, we're going to send it to commercial break, and then we're going to send it right back up to the booth to resume racing here at Richmond Raceway.
The yellow flag is back out here at Richmond Raceway. Thank you to Speed and MLCS for carrying us through the red flag portion. As the cars roll off, we're going to take one more word from ESMN.
Although the threat of lightning now is gone, heavier rains are expected to begin moving in towards the area soon. If these rains reach us before the race's end, we can expect some major spray coming off these race cars.
The storm expanding is certainly no good for the driver's nerves as we take a look at the Stage 2 results. Chase Elliott winning his second stage of the day, looking for the race sweep now. Truex in second, Ty Gibbs in third. As now we have actually the 43 car stalled on pit road. What happened here? His car just dies out. We need to take a word from Rodco to figure out exactly what happened to the Eric Jones machine.
Tough luck for Eric Jones. He said on the radio that his car has no electronics. Many on the team think it was because of the rain from sitting around or some sort of a water leak. So tough luck for Jones. Hopefully he can get that turned around next week.
That's a massive problem for the 43 to have late in the race as we look at the choose cone. Elliott on the inside once again, trying to control that bottom as we go racing here in just a moment. The rain pouring down now, same intensity as before, but expected to get heavier as the cars go green once again. Stage 3 is underway. We go double box here to take in all the action of the restart, and we've got a wreck for the lead, and a wreck in the back! Mayhem here at Richmond Raceway! Unbelievable! 2 wrecks at the same time, both into turn 1, and our leaders, the dominant cars of the day, are out of it! As we are red flag once again, complete stoppage into turn 1. What have we just witnessed? The cars stopped in 2 separate groups here, as the track is currently impassable. Look at that mess. That is 7 cars involved in the back, and 2 are leaders involved in the front. Looking at a replay, let's take a look at the big one first. And it's Christopher Bell in that loose handling race car, takes an unnecessary block on Bubba Wallace on the bottom lane, and there is nowhere for anyone to go. Even at slow speeds of a restart, the track is just too slippery to stop, it seems. The car's barreling into turn 1, no way to avoid the spinning 20 machine. Devastation in the back of the pack. And now the one that's more implicating than any of the others. It looks like Martin Truex Jr. gets into the back of Chase Elliott. Elliott slower than the 19 car expected, and they spin like tops in the rain here. What a disastrous outcome for the 9 and the 19 machines. Big moment here in the early parts of Stage 3, and we have just handed the lead to the 54 of Ty Gibbs in doing this. Truex Elliott out of it. What a crazy wreck as we head down to the pits.
An update on Eric Jones, they caught a lucky break. His electronics came back online, so despite being 4 laps down, he will possibly be able to get back some positions in the carnage. Hopefully he can get back in the race and maybe get a good point stay out of it.
Sometimes you catch a lucky break, and Eric Jones is thankful he caught one this time. He'll still be several laps down, but at the very least, if anything else were to happen in this race, he can make up positions, including positions on those who just wrecked. Now down to Rodko.
Josh Berry, Chase Briscoe, Chris Buescher, and Carson Joseph are all on pit road to repair minor damage. They all complain about a lack of grip and an ability to brake. It's not just those four who are upset by the issue. Most of the field thinks there's just too much water on the track. We'll have to see what effect this has on the cars and if they'll be able to race or if maybe they'll have to red flag it. We'll have to see what happens. Back up to you.
So many cars involved in that last incident, but now it's Tyler Reddick looking for his first win of the season while sitting on top of the points on the outside of Ty Gibbs. The fans are ready to see this one end. Will it be this restart? Will it be the next restart? Who knows? Green flag again at Richmond. It's Ty Gibbs in the lead, Blaney looking low, Chastain looking lower into the back of the 12 car. It's Chastain in the lead. Is he looking for his third straight and fifth win on the year? There's spray! That spray on the back of the cars, expecting the caution to come out, and it does! This may be the end of the race. And we've got a crash in the back after the caution comes out. It's Daniel Suarez and Todd Gilliland. This could be it. Daniel Suarez, caution already out, can't see where he's going in the spray. The rain picked up heavily, and we have a collision. It's the 38 and the 99. This must mean the race is over. We'll take another look, and with our weatherman ESMN here in a moment. It's Suarez being cleaned up off the track. The rain is coming down heavier now, and the red flag is out. This could be over with Chastain out front, ESMN.
As you can see behind me, the storm is now fully over the speedway and shows no signs of stopping anytime soon. It wouldn't shock me if this was the end of the event, as the track wouldn't be dry enough to race for several hours after this.
And just like ESMN predicted, the checkered flag is out. Chastain, 3 in a row, 5 wins on the year, and to the top of the playoff leaderboard is the #1 machine for Trackhouse. The race, which almost went full distance in the wet, just couldn't survive the ever-increasing conditions. What a chaotic race. I have never seen anything like that in my life. Full of chaos. So many drivers complaining that it was too wet to begin with. As we look at the race results, Chastain, Cindric, Keselowski, Ty Gibbs, Ryan Blaney, your top 5. Reddick, McDowell, John Hunter-Nemechek, Noah Gragson, Todd Gilliland, your top 10. Looking at these results, lots of surprise drivers making up the top 20, as so many big contenders wrecked out early due to the sheer amount of moisture falling from the clouds. And we have so many DNFs. Eric Jones able to bypass almost all of them other than Daniel Suarez, who wrecked right as the race was called. Daniel Suarez will be credited over Eric Jones, but all of the other DNF drivers will be below him. Martin Truex Jr., Chase Elliott, who were doing so well this race. Christopher Bell, last year's winner. Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson. Not finishing, Denny Hamlin for the second year in a row. Devastation for the 11 team. And now we look at the point standings. Following Richmond, it's Ross Chastain straight to the top of the point standings with 5 wins on the season and 28 playoff points. Kyle Larson with 25, and those two are running away with the early round advantage in the playoffs. Massive points gap to everybody else. Looking at the second page of points here, we can see the cut line. It has shrank. It's Michael McDowell, Kyle Busch, and Brad Keselowski, all just a little bit closer to the 20 of Christopher Bell, now in a distance that is certainly possible to make up over 3 races' time. For anyone below that, however, it is looking to be a win and get in. Then we have Todd Gilliland at the back of the point sheet, and you see his plus-minus differential in red. That means he must win to get in. There is no exception. Unfortunate for all of those guys having rough seasons up to this point, but the final 3 races will be very entertaining. I cannot stress enough how much this race took on me, guys. I love making every second of it. Richmond Raceway, the last 2 years has been fantastic, but it is time to pass the torch. This will be my final Richmond Raceway race at this iteration of Richmond. Thank you all so much for enjoying all of the memories over the last 2 years as the rain continues to fall. Thank you for supporting me through the delays, through the trials, through all of the work I've put into it. 30 minutes of action for you all, and I hope you enjoyed every last second of it. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I hope you all had a good night.